All right, hello family. It is 8:30 on a Wednesday. I'm a little like a day or two late. Um, I don't have anything specific planned to talk about. I did want to talk about a couple things, I guess. Life updates. Nothing crazy. We've got the Europe trip coming up very soon now. It's not this week, but end of next week that I fly out on Friday. It's exciting. Um, Alan is playing Destiny. He's doing some sort of like raid thing, solo. Things I'm doing. I'll come in here because the air conditioner is loud. I've been doing more prop making, and this is the next thing I've been making. If you don't recognize it and can guess from the last one, this is Star-Lord's helmet. I've been watching the Guardians of the Galaxy TV show, the animated one. It's very good, but it's a very it's a good starter thing. It's it's pretty simple, and I've been considering. I went to a couple of conventions, PAX, and that kind of stuff, and it was fun watching people dress up. So I was considering, if I wanted to make these just to make them, and then if I felt like if I ever worked up the courage enough to try cosplaying at a convention, this would be a very easy one because it's basically the helmet, the blasters, and a jacket. So, so it fits all right. If it was any smaller, my head wouldn't fit in it, but it still needs the eyes and lights in the eyes and the back of the helmet and foam on the inside and all that kind of stuff. But the prints came out great. The painting worked out pretty good. I need to work on that a little bit. I got some new bits. That's exciting for me. All my other projects are still strewn about, and I have not made any progress on them, as is the case. This is my second take of this because I didn't realize that clicking a volume button stopped a video. Let's see, what else? Oh, so Doug loved the video, Mom loved the video. Doug's whole thing, I think, Doug said something in it that kind of stuck with me that I think is very true about the whole AI thing, which is two things. One is that the whole mid-level careers being the ones that I think are gonna see the most upset. I think that's true. I think that those upper, corporate kind of level jobs, upper management, those are going to be fairly safe because they're the ones that make business decisions. It's why, when everyone doesn't get a raise, they still get a raise, that kind of thing. So I think they're guarded, shielded from some of that. And then I think physical jobs are guarded from at least the AI side of things. I think, Doug, you said you think that some of those self-checkouts and warehouse automation and stuff has reached its peak. I don't think that's true, especially being kind of in those fields specifically, like warehouse automation. That's very relevant to my field, and I don't think that has necessarily hit its peak. I think you're right that it has hit its peak currently, it's stalled out a little bit. I think there are still some innovations to come that are going to upset that again. I think there's further innovation that can be made that will cause there to be less need for interaction with a human person at a lot of stages of operation. One of the biggest hurdles to get past is we live in a world that we made for us, like humans. So warehouses are made for people, right? And so are grocery stores and all these places, right? They're all human centric. And that's not going to change anytime soon. But some of the issues that come with warehouse automation tend to be with it's a robot trying to navigate a human space around humans, right? That's the biggest problem with warehouse automation, is like not running over a person. And they're actually getting really good at that, and AI and machine learning has actually helped in that regard. Um, but I think as we see things like automated vehicles and all that stuff progress, we're going to see like this change where it no longer wants to be robots working with humans. It's going to be robots working with robots. And I don't think that's a near term thing. I think that's something that's coming down the line. But I do think that that is, you know, if we continue on the way that our society works, and this kind of, you know, and profit drives everything, then eventually that will be the case, because it will be the most profitable solution. Uh, you know, you don't have to pay a robot. So if you can have all your workers, all your physical labor be robots, you pay for repairs and you pay for someone to upkeep the robots. Really, you know, it's kind of like astromechs in Star Wars, right? Like you don't need ship repairmen, you just need astromechs, and you just need people to repair the astromechs, kind of thing. But I think that's a little more down the line. But I agree, the mid-tier jobs, you know, the jobs that are, there are jobs that are susceptible for a model to be trained in their specific niche. I think marketing is a good example. I think as well, a lot of those like creative, anything that can be done on a computer, right? Like if it can be done on a computer, eventually AI will reach it, I think. You know, maybe not quickly. Like my job, I tend to do a lot of work in CAD, and it's a very like it has a lot of nuance, a lot of like it doesn't follow rules, right? So like there are some rules around like design for manufacturing when you get a part ready to go for manufacturing, but it doesn't follow the conceptual rules, and there's not good like not a good database to train it on, right? Like there's not like good large swaths of information, and because they're large files, you know, it'd be hard to get large databases together to train it on. So I think that's more down the, you know, that's not like a right now thing. Art, you brought up, this is the other thing, like you brought up physical art and music. I think that physical art, one of the things that happened with it and is still happening, is when AI art models came out, you know, they started off kind of rough, but they've become better and better. And people also learned that you can take an AI generated image, select portions of that image, and then improve them with further AI generated images, and, you know, fill space images. And what that has done, it has like, I think the thing is, I don't think AI will ever, not maybe not ever, but will in the near term, I don't think it will replace all people in a workforce, but I do think it will reduce the number of people needed in a workforce. So like concept artists is a good example, I think. If you want really good quality concept art to you know, really express your exact vision, you're gonna hire a concept artist. You won't use AI for that, at least not right now. And so, you know, those high level, those experienced concept artists are a little bit more shielded, but those entry level concept artists, those early concept artists, where they get hired because somebody wants to get an idea across, but they don't care that like whether or not it's perfect, they're trying to save money, that kind of stuff. Commission artists, those people are a lot less needed right now, and don't have as much work, because if you want to get an idea across, like I use it for D&D, right? If I want to show a character, or if I want to show a scene, I can use AI and Photoshop to generate the image that I need for that. And I can do it a lot quicker than trying to find an image that might fit, kind of, right? Or to like get someone to pay someone to do it. So I think music has been, so there's a lot of new models coming out for music, and I think it's going to be a similar story there. I think it's going to be, if you want really good, thought out, creative music, you'll go to an experienced artist. But if you want a quick backing track for your video game, your proof of concept video game, you might go to an AI model and get it rather than going to someone on Fiverr and getting it, right? Or going to your friend and getting it. And I think that's a bad thing for the people who are in those early artist stages and in those early roles. But I gotta say, I also think it's kind of a good thing that it makes it more accessible for people like video game creators early on to be able to make their game. Like for me, I can't make music, and I've asked Doug, I've asked Jude, Kyler's younger brother, I've asked lots of people I know that make music if they could make tracks for games, but they either don't have the time, or they don't have the motivation or interest in it or whatever, and they don't do it, or I would need to go pay someone, and I don't currently have it in me to like go pay for something like that right now. So an AI generated song might be okay for a backing track. Who knows? Anyways, I think that you're right on your points about mid-level and artist, that kind of stuff with AI. I am really hoping that, like Mom is saying, I really hope that the introduction of artificial intelligence, as well as the other new technologies, which I can talk about next time, I'm like almost 12 minutes, I hope they cause a shift in the way that we do things, especially in America. I kind of see two futures. One is where we change how we function as a society to adapt to these new technologies, or we continue down the road that we're going. Companies abuse these new technologies, the wealth gap increases, and we reach something more akin to like Blade Runner or Cyberpunk, where there's the poor who are just kind of scraping by, and then there's the very small populace of very wealthy people and corporations. And I know that sounds very sci-fi and dystopian and stuff, but I do think that it is a real possibility if we continue following the same trends that we currently follow in the US. So I'm at 12 minutes, and it's a long one, so I'm gonna shut up there, and I'll talk about, hopefully, if I don't get sidetracked by something else, I'll talk about my thoughts on education policy next time. Remind me. Until next time, or until I see you in Europe. Bye.